Hello everyone, welcome back to my Additional Max channel. So today I will continue discussing TRIAL EXAM KEDAH 2020 Paper 2 Section A and Section B. So for Section A, I think I still have one question which is vectors that I haven't discussed. And for this video, I will share with you the Section B probability distribution. So let's get started with the class now. Have fun. Hi guys, let's get started with question number 6. Diagram 6 shows a trapezoidal length KLMN all by ingerously. So this is actually the diagram given for length all by ingerously. So we are going to solve the vector problem. So before we start, we actually use a highlighter or maybe different color pen, right? So that you can work on the diagram. In order to do well in vector, you need to be very careful. So okay, let's study the diagram. You have NJL, right? You have KL, right? So there are points on the diagram. Okay, so this is NJ. So we actually focus to the line segment. Okay, actually you just imagine that this is the path of the road that you are going to walk through or you want to pass by. So there's another part is actually from J to L, right? So I use a green highlighter to highlight the J to L. Okay, now let's read the question. He installed the fences along NL and NJ is the entrance gate. So NJ is the entrance gate. Given NJ is 2/3 NL, so starting we need to study the ratio. So we can write as NJ over NL is equal to 2/3. The letters go to one side and the number go to the other side, cross multiply, alright? Then we have this, we can label first. So NJ is 2. That means from J to L will be 1 because the ratio given NL is 3. It seems like not following the scale, but you don't have to worry because the diagram given are not follow the scale, alright? Alright, so how to label is you write NJ over the NL is 2/3. So then you can check 2 plus 1 is 3, right? Okay, so we need to be very careful with the ratio because if ratio wrong, everything will be affected. So vector is easy, but it actually need you to be very careful. So the other one is actually nm over kl. Is also we write this way. Nm is actually the number is 1 multiply is equal to 3 times kl. So the letter nm go to one side and the number go to the other side, right? So you have to cross multiply carefully. Make sure the ratio is correct first before you do, and label the ratio on the line segment. So now nm over kl is actually 3 over 1, alright? 3 over 1, not 1 over 3. You can always check the logic sense. The nm is longer, isn't it? And the kl is shorter. Alright, sometimes they might want to mislead you. They give the diagram not following the skill. So you need to be very careful. So nm divide by kl, that's how you do. Then the 3 is at the right, divide by 1, alright? So it's 3 over 1. Get the ratio right first before you can solve the vectors. Okay, so I write again, and m over kl is 3 ratio to 1. So we can go to the line kl and line nm, and we label the number on the line segment. Alright, so if you label clearly, then later when you solve the triangle law or parallelogram law, it will be very easy for you. You just follow the direction and the ratio. So again, I highlight to you, when you solve the ratio, number go to one side and then the letter go to the other side. Okay, so I'm sure some of you are still confused with the ratio. So make sure you really learn how to get the ratio right first. Okay, and then you keep on practice until you're expert. Then you will be excel in vectors. Then you'll be very confident in SPM exam soon. Alright. So now I'm going to label the 3 on nm, and the kl I will label as 1, right? Okay, follow the ratio, and the arrow, if possible, you also label showing that they are heading to the same direction, right? But because the vector given is actually, sometimes they give you the line segment without the arrow. So for all the ratio here, they didn't mention about the vector. So it's actually a ratio of the line segment. Then they say KL is 9C, that is vector. You see the arrow on top. And then KN is 8D. Alright, now we go to the diagram. We label the KL, follow the arrow. So if KL is 9C, that means the NM will be 3 times of the 9C, right? Which is 27C. And the direction also must be following the KL, because the ratio telling you that they are heading to the same direction. Okay, they are parallel, right? Okay, it's 3 times, right? So if you can express in terms of how many times, that means the two vectors are parallel, alright? Okay, so now we need to solve express the following vectors in terms of C and D for NL. Okay, now we need to go to the diagram and find the triangle. So we use triangle law. So okay, so we label the vector first, which is now we want to find the NL. Okay, you are given the KL is 9C and the KN is 8D. So I label the KN 8D, right? So if you want to find the vector, you must follow the triangle law. Okay, without triangle law, you cannot find the direction of the vector. So now we are going to write down the triangle law in order to solve the vector asking by the question. So now, because the vector and the ratio, everything we label already, now we work out the triangle. We are going to use a triangle law. So NL is equal to, okay, NK plus KL. Can you see the yellow triangle that I drawn? That is triangle law. The starting is from N. Now let's try to solve the triangle law. So we have the starting point is N, ending point is actually L, right? From N travel to L, right? So we write NL with the arrow. So if we start with the N, you must start with the N after equal sign. So from A, you go to the K, then K go to the L. This is actually the triangle law. Is just like you got two ways to go. One is the shortcut, the other one is a longer path, alright? So now, because the direction is opposite with the one given, so you have to write negative 8D plus the 9C, right? So this is NL. So make sure you are very careful when you do vector. So if NL is okay, then you can do for the rest. So always double check for the vector before you proceed. So now we have solved the first one, which is actually negative 8D plus 9C. Now we need to solve the other one, which is actually the next one. Okay, let's study the diagram. Okay, so now we have to work on the diagram for vector. We can't actually get the answer without work on the diagram, alright? Okay, so now let's see. From L to M, can you see the blue that I used? The blue highlighter. Okay, the fade blue color. So I'm going to draw another triangle which is starting from L to M, then from L to N, then from N go to the M. Alright, can you see that? Alright, now we need to write down the triangle law. Alright, so let's find a space to write the triangle law carefully. Alright, so when you do vector, you don't do in a hurry, okay? You take your time to do. Make sure you do it carefully. No rushing, okay? Don't do last minute. So always give vector first priority to do, so that you don't do last minute in a hurry, okay? So LM equal to LN plus the NM, okay? So now we are going to plug in the vector. Just now we got is NL, so you have to know that NL is actually opposite direction with Ln, so it's a negative vector, right? Okay, so we refer to the answer just now, but we have to make it negative so that we can substitute into the Ln. Alright, okay, so now let's make it positive. Just now it was negative 8D, right, plus 9C. So we will make it positive 8D minus 9C, right? Understand? Okay, plus the vector which is very clear, and M label there, which is obviously 27C, right? Okay, so you have to simplify the vector until you get the answer. Okay, so let's simplify by using the like term. That means D, we have 8D, but negative 9C, you have to plus 27C, right? So will be 27 minus 9, right? Okay, so be very careful when you do vector. I just want to highlight to you again, NL is negative 8D plus 9C. Hence, the LN, it should be opposite. Okay, should be 8D minus 9C to clear your confusion. Alright, now I'm going to simplify the vector by looking at negative 9C plus 27C. They are like term. So I have to take 27 minus 9, right? Okay, so now you can write down 18C plus 8D. Alright, we always want the alphabetical order in order. C come first before D, but it's okay if you don't want to write so. Okay, so I have solved the vector for this one, for LM. Okay, now next we will proceed to the magnitude of the vector. Magnitude, you come with the modulus, it means the length. Okay, you don't worry about modulus. It just means that the length of one vector D is 3 unit and one vector C is 2 unit, right? Okay, the question is asking you to find the magnitude of the entrance gate. Now, where is the entrance gate? It's at the NJ, right? You refer to the question. Okay, he installed the fence along NL and NJ is the entrance gate. So let's go to the diagram and label where is the entrance gate. Alright, so can you see NJ? Alright, so we are going to find the length of entrance gate with the condition the magnitude C is 3, 1C is 3 and 1D is 2. So now the vector N, okay, I use a green color. Can you see that? Okay, I'm going to write down the entrance gate for you. Where is entrance gate? This is the entrance gate. Alright, so it's actually refer to your vector NJ, right? So the NJ actually is given the ratio, which is 2 over 3 of the vector NL, right? Okay, so NJ is equal to, let's highlight, the length of the entrance gate is NJ. So we are going to find the magnitude. Alright, magnitude, it means two lines beside the NJ. So it shows the length of the vector NJ. So now we're given the ratio just now, which is actually 2 over 3 of the vector NL, right? And we actually found out the NL, which is negative 8D, right, plus 9C, right? So for your information, the negative actually, it doesn't mean minus, it means a direction. So that means you have 8D. We can ignore the negative when come to magnitude. You just take 8 times D, meaning that the length is 8 times D. Okay, so the magnitude for 1D is 2, right? So that means you have 8D. Just imagine you have got 8D. 1D is 2, so 8 times 2. So you have 16, right? Alright, and then for the other one is 9C, and 1C is 3. So you have 9C, so you should know that 9 times 3 is the magnitude, right, for 9C, and for 8D is 16. Okay, understand? So if you understand, then you can just use Pythagoras theorem to find the magnitude. Okay, when talk about magnitude, we always use a Pythagoras theorem. Alright, okay, so again I highlight to you 8D means 8 times 2, which is 16. Okay, because 1D is equivalent to 2, and 9C is 9 times 3 because 1C is equivalent to 3, right? So now we are going to apply the Pythagoras theorem. We have 27, we have 16 and 27. Alright, so now let's apply the Pythagoras theorem. It's actually 16 square plus 27 square, and then you have to square root, right? Okay, 27 square plus 16 square, and you square root, and you times 2 over 3. So I guess you get 985. You times 2 over 3. Your answer you can give in 4 significant figure. So the answer, I think, if you really press your calculator carefully, you should get the answer like this, which is about 20.92, right? Are you getting this answer? The length is in unit, okay, so we write unit. Okay, so now the last part of this question is you have to determine whether the LM and the KJ are parallel or not. So because Rosalie wants to build a road iron fences along the LM and KJ. So in order to prove the two vectors are parallel vector, we actually need to show the ratio. That means we need to show the two ratio actually can be expressed in terms of how many times. So we need a constant. So basically you have to find the vector KJ in terms of the C and D first. So I'm using triangle law. So KJ equal to KN plus NJ. And I simplify, I get 6C plus 8 over 3D, right? And then I have to find the other vector, which is LM is 18C plus 8D, right? Okay, now you have these two vectors, right? You need to express in terms of the vector in terms of the, we call as multiple, right? So I can say they are actually, if I divide the two vectors, I should be able to get a constant, which is actually showing that they are multiple, how many times. So you can assign a K for these two vectors, or if you can see the common factor, you can just factorize and simplify to get the ratio. So let's see how. Now I'm going to show you how to find the ratio, because many students are very confused how to solve the parallel vector, right? So actually it's quite easy. You just show you can find the constant between the two vectors. Once you find the constant, it shows that they are actually parallel. That's it. That is a concept that you need to accept. Alright, so you can say LM is equal to mu, or maybe you can use your own constant KJ. So then you just substitute the vector 18C plus 8D equal to mu, means how many times. You can use P or whatever constant you like. Okay, so the KJ you substitute in, which is 6C plus 8 over 3D. Now for you to solve the vector, we always comparing, right? We have two terms at the left and right, then we just do comparing. So 18C plus 8D equal to 6 mu C plus 8 over 3 mu D. So then we will just focus to the vector C, and then we highlight the constant in front of the C is 6 mu equal to 18. Then we can find the mu, which is 18 over 6, which is 3. So we have to show both are having the same constant. You cannot just find one, because in order to show they are parallel, they must for component C and component D, they must have the same ratio, right? So now 8 over 3 mu is equal to 8D. The D you can cancel out, no need to write, it's okay. So it seems you are having mu equal to 3 also. So hence, you are getting both constant are the same. You must do both, okay? Then you can say LM, vector LM is actually 3 times of vector KJ. It's okay if your constant is 1 over 3. You are right. It's nothing wrong. It's just that you are using maybe a different vector when you do. So hence you have to write a sentence. Vector LM is parallel to vector KJ. Okay, or you can just highlight like this. Alright, so that's how you show parallel vector. Alright, so actually in SPM exam for paper 2, I advise you to do vectors and probability distribution if there is a question like this. So let's go through the question for this one. So first of all, it is found that the mean of the number of scouts is 340. Alright, and the variance is 136. And the probability that students participate in scout is P. So basically when you read the question, you have to highlight the keywords is mu was given 340 and the variance was given 136. So we write down mu is a mean, which is 340, and the variance is 136 was given in the question, right? Okay, so now we actually have to use a formula for the probability distribution. So we have a few formula for this one. Mu equal to NP. Another one is variance equal to NPQ. Okay, for your information, this mu is not the same with the mean in the statistics, and the variance is not the same. For probability, we have the mean and the variance specifically for the probability distribution. So 340 equal to NP, then variance equal to variance was given 136. So you can substitute the NP equal to 340, right? So because you have three unknown and NP is equal to 340, so you don't have to do three equation. So now variance is 136. You substitute 136 equal to 340Q. So you can solve your Q is 136 over 340. So hence the Q, you will get the answer in terms of the fraction, right? You can press your calculator for 136 over 340 is 2 over 5, right? Then hence, because P plus Q is 1, so the P is actually 3 over 5 by using 1 minus out 2 over 5. Okay, we have settled the P. Now the question said students from the school are chosen at random. Find the probability that not more than 7 students participate in the scout activities. So we will write down not more than 7 as P x less than equal 7 is equal to 1 minus px equal to 8. Alright, so we just use a shortcut. Then you will get 1 minus 8c8, then 3 over 5, 8, then 2 over 5, 0. And you can press your calculator to get the answer. Alright, so give your answer in 4 significant figure 0.9832, right? So this is the answer for this question. Now for this one is actually normal distribution. Just now was binomial distribution. Now for normal distribution, we always start with the x. Okay, normal distribution, mean is 950, and then the variance is 289. This is how you write the variable for normal distribution. Always start from the x, then imply and 950, then 289. Remember mu variance. Okay, now it is given that the variance is 289 and the percentage of the shaded region. So whenever you see percentage, you must think of P means probability, right? So we will take the probability for the x more than v is 28.5%. Remember percent, so you have to per 100. Alright, so probability of the x more than the v, let's write down. So you must learn how to write down big P, then bracket x more than, because it's to the shaded to the right, right? More than the v is equal to 28.5%. So whenever you do the normal distribution, you always start from the x, alright? From the x, convert to z. From the z, then only you can find the probability value or find the z-score from the distribution table. So z more than v minus the mean, which is given 950. Standard deviation, you have to square root the 289 because you are given variance. Be careful. So it's equal to 0.285 because percent you have to convert to decimal, right? Okay, now if you are given the probability value, if you are having the new calculator with 570, the new one, you can actually use an inverse. Okay, inverse. You go to bell shape, go to inverse, you key in 0.285. Alright, but the calculator that you use is the new one is actually left-sided, so you need to be very careful. So now if you read the distribution table, you'll get the z-score. Okay, is actually 0.568. So then you just equate with the z, which is v minus 950 over 289. So you solve the answer, you get the v, which is 989.656. It's okay if you give me the answer 959.66, no problem. But we prefer 2 decimal places, alright? Okay, now the last part is quite easy. So I encourage you all to do this question because it's actually like a very robotic question, right? Just follow the way to do. So it's not hard actually. Alright, so this one is find the probability for x from 920 to 960 in between. So you have to convert to z-score before you can plug into your calculator, right? Make sure you write the inequality sign properly. Okay, so for this topic, your calculator skills must be good. So if you are not sure how to use the inverse, okay, you can always message me, then maybe I can help you. So the same, we always use x minus mean over standard deviation, which is 960 minus 950 over 289. And then from there you can simplify, and then you can use a calculator. If you are having the new calculator, the one that silver color with a white background, so you can just key in with the lower and the upper, right? I'm sure everyone is using this one, but if you are not using this one, you can always use a distribution table, no problem. So it's good also to learn both ways because sometimes they might force you to use a distribution table, right? So okay, so you can always write like this because distribution table is actually right-sided. So we always do like this. 1 minus 0.03878 minus 0.278. Okay, so finally your answer will be 0.68. Okay, 295. Okay, if you write 0.6830 is accepted, no problem. So this is the answer that you got, okay, for the normal distribution. So if they want a percentage, then only you convert to percent. Alright, 68.30%, but they didn't ask. They want the decimal. Okay, so I have shared 2 questions today. I will try to share more questions when I'm free. So I think that's all my sharing for today. Till then, I shall see you in my next video sharing. Bye bye and have a nice day. Hello everyone, welcome back to my additional math channel. For today's video teaching lesson, I would like to share with you the different sample of the hot question on differentiation. I really hope that the module that I share will help you to gain confidence in solving hot question, especially for this topic, differentiation. So have fun!